Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm here to bring you a manga chapter review of Boku no Hero Academia, chapter 21. Now, it feels like it was just yesterday that we were on chapter 10, chapter 8, and 7. I mean, it feels like it was just recently we were at the beginning of the series, and now we're on chapter 21. It's ridiculous to think we are pretty much caught up with the manga now. I think there's only 22 chapters out at the moment, and we're pretty much caught up with the manga now, which is very, very good, because now we can stay up to date with, what's going on in Japan. So, before I begin this review, I just want to say something real quick. Now, the translations of this chapter and the previous chapters, chapter 18, 19, and 20, the translations could be a lot better. And, I mean, I had to reread chapter 18 when it got actually released earlier today, and I was going to make a review, but I was like, don't worry about it. I'll talk about some certain elements I do want to talk about in this review about chapter 18, 19, and 20, but I just want to mainly focus this on chapter 21. So, before I dive into the chapter 21 stuff, I just want to talk about something real quick. One thing I really want to mention that I did not discuss in my reaction I did on Boku no Hero Academia like yesterday, or 2 days ago technically, since it's like 2:30 in the morning right now, pretty much Shigaraki, or Dr. Hands, whatever name you want to call him. Shigaraki, he has a very weird personality. I noticed that instantly after kind of rereading the chapter earlier today and seeing the new translations from the actual real translators. Supposedly, the hand that dropped in the middle of chapter 18 that fell into the floor was Shigaraki's father's hand. He called that hand like his father's. And the thing was, instantly when I saw that, I was like, are you telling me that all those hands on Shigaraki are most likely, like, victims or people he's killed or cut off their hands, and that's what he wears on him? For instance, each one of those hands all over Shigaraki are actual real hands from different people, and, like, even has his father's hand on him. So I wonder exactly whose hand that is on his face. His mother? So, I just wanted to point that out, because I didn't really point that out in my reaction. Shigaraki seems like he is the type of person that collects victims' body parts, like their hands, all over his body, and he controls them. So, pretty fucked up if you think about it like that. So, besides that, now let's dive into the Chapter 21 stuff, because there is quite a bit to cover. Once again, Boku no Hero Academia has a lot of content in one individual chapter. So, one thing I want to start off and say, with this chapter, it pretty much sets up the next arc, like the sports festival arc. That's what I think this next arc we're getting into, because at the end of this chapter, Aizawa states that the school festival preparations are beginning. You need to start prepping up for the school festival and stuff like that, and so I'm guessing this is what the next arc is going to be about. So, Shigaraki and Black Mist go back to their villain alliance, pretty much, like their headquarters where their bar was at when we first saw their introduction multiple chapters back. Well, in this, they start talking to this person on the computer. We don't get a face, we don't really get a name, but Shigaraki, with the translations, if the translations are correct, which I highly doubt they're completely correct, from the translations, Shigaraki was acting like this dude was his senpai, or his sensei, his master, pretty much, and he was kind of, like, respecting him. This person Shigaraki was. And the thing was, too, about this, from what I understood from the dialogue, which, it's very hard to understand the dialogue since it felt like it was really off in it, it felt like the dude on the computer screen, or whoever it was saying that there was someone stronger than Nomu. Because, like, they're building up another alliance or whatever, like another villain alliance, and supposedly they're going to be sending in more people that are even stronger than Nomu. So what the fuck? So you're telling me this person like Nomu that had to fight All Might a chapter ago, and All Might just went in. I mean, he kind of wrecked Nomu, but Nomu was fucking ridiculous. And you're telling me that there's people stronger than this dude? All Might, dude, is gonna fucking die, and I don't want to see that. All Might is way too badass. I don't want to see him die by that. I really don't. But the death flags on All Might's head is just freaking massive. I really hope he doesn't die. I really hope he doesn't, but we'll have to see how that goes. But finding out that this other person on the screen or whatever has, like, stronger people that are probably stronger than Nomu, pretty impressive. And it's not just that either. Supposedly, the organization that Shigaraki was a part of with Black Mist and stuff and Nomu, supposedly this organization, or this villain alliance, was actually a small organization of many organizations of villains. So, there's other villain organizations in this series that are extremely strong and bigger than what they currently faced last chapter. So, interesting. Very interesting reveal. So now let's move on to the other segments I want to talk about. So, at the end of the day, after the end of this arc, pretty much there was only a couple people that were injured. You have All Might that was slightly injured, you have it to where Aizawa was injured, number 13 was injured, and Izuku was injured. But the only students that were injured were Izuku. Izuku's the only student that actually got injured. The other people that got injured were the teachers. Now, Aizawa, we get the rundown of Aizawa with this chapter. Aizawa, supposedly, from what I understood from this chapter's dialogue, is that both his arms got completely broken, which is fucking obvious. I mean, if you saw his arms get crunched like a freaking stick by Nomu, it's kind of obvious his arms are kind of messed up. And his face is badly beaten and broken, pretty much, which is kind of obvious when you saw him raise his face up and you saw the condition of his face. So, kind of obvious. Now, Aizawa's face is kind of hurt. But what's really interesting about the dialogue was supposedly what this detective dude said. He said that Aizawa's eyes were crushed. Now, at the end of this chapter, Aizawa opens his eyes. Now, necessarily, I don't know what he truly means about his eyes being crushed. Like I said, the translations could be completely fucked up, and I'm willing to bet it all is. I mean, I'm happy that we got translations, but I'm willing to bet something's wrong or off with those translations, because it said Aizawa's eyes were crushed. But clearly, they weren't completely crushed where he couldn't see, so we'll just have to see the extent of this when we actually get proper translations. But either way, Aizawa, I'm glad the dude is not completely dead, or he's not completely broken. I mean, that dude took a beating. He should be in a wheelchair after what happened. I mean, Nomu crunched his arms like they were toothpicks, okay? Freaking toothpicks. And that dude goes back into school, and he's freaking teaching. That fucking dude Aizawa is going back to school and teaching. That is a badass, dude. What type of freaking dude goes back to school after getting his arms broken, getting stitched up and freaking wrapped around with bandages, and his eyes and face is all fucked up, and he still goes to school to teach? Like, dude, that dude's dedicated. Freaking Aizawa, man. He is dedicated. Okay, so other things. Let's get on to the situation with All Might. So, All Might in this chapter, pretty much from what he says from the dialogue, and now there was the recovery girl. We saw a conversation going on with the recovery girl with All Might in this chapter, and clearly from the dialogue, it seems like they cut out like some form of conversation with recovery girl and All Might. For instance, we got the ending conclusion of that conversation, and I think the mangaka skipped out what was really crucial from whatever they were talking about. Izuku clearly heard it, but we did not get to find out exactly what it was. But judging from the conversation, it seems like All Might lost some time to actually be able to use his true power, his full maximum power. So All Might is losing time once again, and now he's lost even more time that he can use to save the day. So this is pretty sad. It's really sad. All Might is slowly losing more and more time to where he can actually be active as a hero. So, one of these days, it's going to eventually cost him to where he most likely will die, like he'll run out of his power, like it almost happened in the middle of Nomu's fight. He was bluffing, but he was a badass fucking liar, but still, All Might is losing time, and this chapter pretty much confirms he lost even more time after pushing himself to that extent with Nomu. So, pretty sad if you think about that. Now, besides overall those other factors, I mean, you got the overall introduction of this new detective character that's like a police officer, and it's really cool. I like his character so far, but I don't know exactly how to take his character until I see some more development with him, so I'm just going to skip past him, because at the moment he just seems to be a dude that's just an investigator, police officer. I'll just have to see how he is, but All Might clearly trusts him, and actually he knows about All Might's true form and abilities, so interesting. So I guess that's pretty much going to conclude this chapter of Boku no Hero Academia. I mean, there's a lot of setup and a lot of stuff I could really dive into, but I mean, overall, that's the main important aspects of this chapter. Now, when the actual chapter gets translated, I'm definitely going to have to reread the chapter because I think there's some stuff that's off with the translations. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.